Yay. I think that's better now, possibly. Maybe. Right, okay, yeah. I'm just starting out here. Uh, and how are you today? I'm not sure. I'm getting a feedback kind of through, so obviously I've not set something up right. But it's just a practice. Now I don't know if you guys have. All right, since I joined the group a couple of weeks. Yeah. Right, I need to try to turn that audio off. I'm hearing what I'm saying, so let me think. Uh, Let me see. Is that better? Right, okay, that's good. I don't hear the feedback. No, shocking. Now I've paused that there. Is the stream still running? I've got no idea what I'm doing. Total amateur. Uh, but I think the stream's still running. I could be wrong. Right, excellent. Right, I don't know, guys, if you've seen the blog post. It was about basically Adam Hasselmeyer and how we've managed to use the Green Man and basically say, look, the recorded history so far for this reply to the farmer does not make sense. We can prove that something to do with that publication took place 12 years before Adam Hasselmeyer even seen the written version of the farmer in manuscript form. Now, what is important there is when we come back to the spreadsheet that you see here, now I can filter this spreadsheet by printer or publisher. And what it does is it shows me all of the versions of that green man with the same damage. And what is super, super duper interesting is all of the copies, 5 of them are all using the same typesetting. And they've all got the same green man. Now that makes sense if they're all printed at the same time. But the one that is printed at the same time is this one. But the problem with this one is this doesn't use the same typesetting. So even though the green man has still got the same identifying marks, meaning it was printed at the same time as the other 4 examples, and the other 4 examples all use the same typesetting, this one doesn't. And again, it's anonymous, but the most super interesting thing is it only has 20 pages. So, and if you've been watching the video, obviously 20, 17 and 3, which would be R and C. So it's just possible that we're looking at something here. And what's again grabs your attention if you're like me is this at the bottom of page 20, which is very common, especially in Shakespeare's first folio. This actual print here, apart from this shield in the middle in the first folio, it's got an extra design in the middle. So I was instantly interested in this. And if we count 20 words down, and we don't count the first half word, I know that sounds I'm already cherry picking type thing, but we basically come to this simple rosy anagram. Now, what I did notice straight away is here, this is just a simple rosy anagram. If I didn't know to follow clues here or something like that or whatever, this would never be found, like ever, if there is anything here. But I've already spent a couple hours and I've had a good little look, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight this here, and the R, and the O, and the S. I'm going to make that a kind of separate little layer, and I'll turn that green. I'll come to this eraser and I'll just get rid of that. There we go. So what we see now is an anagram of rosy, and then we have, this is an E. This letter here is actually an E, but R-O-S. If that was a C, obviously like, we would be thinking about like rosy cross. So that is a bit of a letdown, to be honest. But that doesn't mean we have to stop there, because you need to take everything into account of what we've seen before. Now, what I'm going to do is to make it think like, how could we make that an E? If we wanted to make that E into a C, now you even need to think in your mind, E is 5, C is 3. So now we're looking at 53, which again is one of these magic RC numbers. But even right up until this point, this is all just guesswork, pretty much. We've arrived here. We're just trying a luck to see, can we repeat what I've repeated many places before? And what, if you look closely, the first word at the top, if this was to be cross, would be the word test. But what I'm going to do is something that I noticed straight away, and you know what, I'll just go through it because it's been done. I've actually done this before, but I was kind of hoping to go through the steps one by one. But I think I can actually just show it. If there's some people here, we can kind of go through the kind of steps. Right. Now that means I would actually have to like prepare it all kind of thing, but okay, no problem. Now check this at the top. So what I'm going to do, I'll start highlighting. We'll do it properly and we can see it step by step. So you can take part, you can give me your feedback, you can say, oh Paul, that's a bit of a stretch and things, but we'll see. So take this A, alter, A-S-I-N. Alter a sin. So I'll make that specific colour. Let's go for, yeah, red. Looks nice. So now we've got alter a sin. Now, a sin means, I suppose you could say, a mistake. You know, we need to alter a sin. And if we take a look at the next letter here, we have an E. So it's saying is alter a sin, and what we could possibly arrive at is the sin is the E. Now, there's always something to verify that, because it's not just me plucking this thing out of thin air. Let's take a look at what's next. And it's saying alter a E. Alter a E. Now let me just highlight that. Don't make that red again so it kind of keeps with the theme. I can find the red. Now, if anybody is watching and paying attention. Oh, sorry, there's a question. To begin. Oh, yeah, and I think that is obviously, yeah, I think that's by design. Right, that's that's what allowed me to think, here, hold a minute, something here. And the fact that it's formed now the shape of a cross. But if you're watching the screen, what alter a sin e, alter a e. What's missing, guys? What is missing from there? One says alter a sin e. The next one says alter a e. What is missing? It's the sin. What sin is missing? Here we have P R I D E. Pride. And this is a bit of an eye-opener to me, because obviously when I discovered these things, I felt a bit of pride. And then this little discovery we're going to talk about shatters that. So if we take a look again, this is not like a code where it's all about doing the work and being initiated. This wasn't a code that was designed to be handed to a piece of paper and somebody decipher it because the war depends on it. You know, this was designed in a way where you need to do the work. And this is what we're left with. But we're not going to finish there, because alter a sin and alter the same letter again. And look, pride is one of the deadly sins. Deadly sins, right? So now we have R, oops, I did it, I, P. Rest in peace. As pride being one of the deadly sins, let's make it a nice pretty colour, there we go. We now have a little bit of help here, because if we take a look over to the left again, what we have is die. D-I-E. Die. So what we get is this kind of relationship in each part of the page that's helping us say, right, okay, that looks like a code, there's the verification. That looks like a code, there's the verification. And if we look under the word pride, because technically we would like that word pride to rise up to fill that gap, alter a sin, alter a... Look underneath it, what word has it given us now? Ascent. But there's a problem with this, because ascend, meaning to rise up, is A-C-S. But phonetically, it's the exact same. Ascend. And now you can kind of see how it's telling us that this word pride is supposed to be read here. Now, to me already, this is absolutely like fantastic. And I'm not exactly too sure how many viewers are in here. I think I've got like 2, maybe. Or maybe 1, I don't know. As you can see, small beginnings, small beginnings. So this is kind of like, by this stage, I'm obviously feeling that, yeah, I think we've got a good case here, to be honest. There's something going on in this page. The fact that it's page 20, it's the last page in the book, and... Oh, on a second. Sorry, I've just had a... Ah, nice. Okay. I was just reading the message on Discord, which I think was from you. If you're still watching, I've got no idea. So far, we've kind of just got... It just helps us build up this kind of story. Alter a sin, like... What exactly does alter a sin mean? You know, it's just something... And that's why I think a lot of problems has happened with previous hunters, because they might use a theme to build some kind of construction on a page, and then people immediately kind of like, the theme is what they're going to find, and that doesn't seem to be the case, gone by my experience. Now, but there's a problem, because ascend is A-C or A-S-C, but ascend with double C means to set fire or to light, like incendiary, something to burn. So we're just going to kind of leave that a little bit right now and have a little look at what else is going on in the page here, something a little bit at the side, because let's just say if I was to highlight this G, the only capital letters really on the page, and they just happen to be in an alignment. So obviously I'm quite suspicious of it. Let's just highlight that. We'll pick a colour. There we go. And it says the word dag. Now dag, I think in Scandinavian and things like that, is day. But it's saying here like German, and I think day in German is tag. But if we come back to here, die could easily be DM. And DM also means day. They say, so just cracking one little part of the corner, it's allowing us to piece together this relationship here. So dag, day, DM is day. But what does that kind of mean? And when we start thinking about things, it's a little bit. I'll put the line in. Now, let me. Now this line, it's just a line to show you that arrangement. But what it's going to do is, it's going to allow me to add and remove something. Now, based on how we got here, we arrived at this little corner based on the findings from the Green Man. As simple as that, from the Green Man. So when we come here, we highlight what would be the word vine, vines of the Green Man. The Green Man was art, A-R-T, running backwards. And then it tells us teal, T-E-A-L, teal being greeny blue. So vine, art, greeny blue. And for the last, it says German. So let me just highlight all that. Layer versus copy. We'll make that a nice colour. There we go. I need to add some more colours. So because we arrived here at the Green Man, what we've got is vine, which there's lots of vines on the Green Man art. It is art, and teal, it is a colour, it is green, blue. So are they talking about the Green Man here? I think there's a more important message here, and one that has a little bit of a sting in its tail, because we have that RIP here and die here. Now this is the bit where I picked up at the start, basically. This C, layer versus copy. Oh, no, that was an accident. Don't want to do that. Layer versus copy. Now if I highlight this letter C, nope. Sorry, wasn't for you. I don't understand. Anyway, now what we have is the word D-I-C, dick. Now, in Old English, dick basically means a man they would use to get a woman pregnant. A dick. That men who couldn't basically have children would or hire people, and those people would be called a dick. But dick in Latin is to say, to speak. So what we have here is basically Rosie, cross, speak, die. And considering this is all because of Adam Hasselmeyer, and Adam Hasselmeyer basically writing the first written reply to the farmer and was basically kidnapped and taken away to the galleys. This is a nice little warning here. And I think there is a lot more on this page to be found. And it's just a matter of delivering the story correctly. So when we first come to the page, we've basically got on the 20th word, complete word, we have an anagram of Rosie. And then we have E-R-O-S. The E doesn't make sense. We would like that to be C. But it makes up the word die. And here it says alter a sin, and the sin is the E. We want to alter it to the C. Then to make sure you understand it, it's repeated it again. Alter a E. And just to show that, again, it's not some kind of random thing, it's gave us one of the sins. Pride. One of the deadly sins. Hence we have R-I-P. And this is how it's going to jump onto this idea of die, dick, talk, speak, of the rose cross, die. Nice little message. And here, just to be sure, in this alignment, which I need to work more on, it is basically vine, art, teal. Green, blue, man, basically. So I would like some academics obviously to come along and work on the whole green man thing, where I can actually prove that this document was printed like 12 years before the farmer was even printed. So the answer to the farmer was printed before the farmer was even printed. I smell a little bit of a conspiracy, but in order to prove that is going to require people with a lot more skill than what I have. I've got all the information here, but it's hard. Who wants to listen, you know? But I'll try my best. And then we have this DAG, day, and that's what allows us to make sure that DM is a thing. So DAG is a thing, and the words that make up that line, vine, art, and teal. And I've still to work on, like, this ascend could mean burn it, ascend it, set fire to it, burn it. It's like as if it's a warning, you know, but I'm still working on it. These things take time. It takes an understanding that can only come from working on the whole book. But rest assured, every little thing you come up with, there is not some fantasy thing there. There is an actual verification step that is right there for you to see. Alter sin, meaning we're going to alter something. I just find these things because A, I know where to look because of the Trail of the Green Man and the experiences of all the other publications, and B, because I'm beginning to find myself initiated in the way these guys work, and I'm hoping to share this initiation for other people so we can cover huge documents. Anybody have any questions or would like me to explain anything? I would be happy to do so. Happy Red Bull. Ooh. Does concurrent viewers mean 3 viewers, or does that mean I've had 1 viewer? 3 times. I don't know. I'm not a streaming man. But I think if I'm really want to share all this information, it's not good just sharing the findings. I need to show how we go about it, how we go extracting this information. And I think doing it live is a way to go. Obviously, it's a bit difficult, feeling like you're talking to yourself. But I did teach in Saudi Arabia for a long time, and I did feel like I was talking to myself there. So I've got experience. Uh, Now, of course, for the people that's in the Discord group, like I can see Klaus in the Discord group now. Hey, hey Klaus, do you have your microphone set up? Perhaps you would like. Uh, Now, from what I'm gathering, Klaus, this is Fedsten, from what I can gather. Uh, whatever you would like, feel you want to do, or something you feel strongly on, it's all about enjoyment. You know, I would like it to be fun. You know, it's like, uh, oh, I quite that find interesting. You know, I'd like to try that. Then ask me what you would like, and I'll point you in the best direction with your best chance of getting some results, and we can take it from there. But you can feel free, Klaus, to use your microphone in that room, and I think at some point, if it does get a little bit more popular, I think we will invite people into the room, and that we can discuss this thing while live. You know, because I'm sure a lot of people will have very questions like, "Oh, how do you know that anagram means Rosie? That could mean anything at this stage." And you know, it's just a matter of then explaining how many examples of this same thing I can actually show. And this is what it's all about. It has to be demonstrable, it has to be demonstratable, it has to be repeatable. And I think the Trail of the Green Man does a good job on that. Oops, that was an accident. Now, is that 3? I'm totally sorry for the unprofessionalism of it. I'm just really really new to this, and concurrent viewers 3. I don't know actually where to look to actually see how many people's actually watching right now. If there is anybody, I've got no idea. Hey, what does it say here? Ah, right, 1 viewer, but I think there's been 3 views, as in somebody's came and left, maybe. Hmm. So now, what I would do if this is just me, I'm kind of at this stage where uh, I need to kind of like go over everything. As you can see, I do it all kind of quick hand first, and then I will go through and make it more presentable. You can see all the different bits I've already been through before. But the good thing about this is, because there's only a small lump of text, it's quite easy to kind of like find something that they're of importance. And I do understand how like people can come out and say, "Oh, you're just making it up or you're just inventing it," but when you see something like alter a sin and then alter a, but something's missing, and then underneath it is pride, then underneath that is something phonetically ascend, telling you to rise it up. I, I find it harder and harder to be sympathetic with people that's got that view, uh, especially with the amount of examples that's shown. Now, there's probably more here because I can just see even here VCI or VIC, which would be 106 basically if you add them together. So there's something else going on in this area that I would very much like to spend some time on. But what it involves me doing is basically, like, here we have Deus, but and Deus is God, but I think the word Deusa is something else. So if I come here to Deusa, I've got a funny feeling that this means something else. Let me see. D-E-U. Let's see. In the Latin, yeah, yeah, now I remember. It is basically a variation of deuces, which is misused. So this here at the top, Deusa, basically means something misused. So lots to think about here. It would be silly for me to come out and say, yeah, that this is the complete model. This is just like the very first preliminary scan through it, but it's quite strong at this stage. But I do really kind of feel the rosy cross talk die. It's a long trail to follow to retrieve this message, to be honest. And what would, if this is cloud database hosting? Oh. So we are just kind of like at the starting stage still. You know, you've got in at the ground floor. What I think I need to do is hire a professional, to be honest, to go over the spreadsheet, just the original spreadsheet which we have here. Uh, this spreadsheet, it requires a little bit of TLC, to be honest. It's been well used by me, but here's an example of how it's easy for me to spot these things. It's quite simple for me to spot the differences and the errors and things. So it would be great to have like this professionally like done, but it serves its purpose at the minute. Right, anyway, I think that will do me. That's been, let me see, how long was that? I think I was streaming for, I don't even know where to look. 1 hour, 7 minutes. Probably wasn't very successful, but it's a beginning. And I would like to do this repeatedly with all the finds, and we can go over it. But what I realised there is doing it live could be very, very boring. If I was to sit here for 4 hours banging my head against the wall trying to find out what the next step is, because it's trial and error, really. You know, like right now, I'm at the stage German, Why? What meaning is German? Why would it say dag German when dag is only Norse for day? It's tag for German, but then if that is Dösa, meaning a mistake, then it doesn't take much to say that, yeah, it's telling us that that is a T for tag, even though there's no T there. And this is where, eh, this is how these things have managed to stay hidden for so long. It's it's beautiful, to be honest. It's like every other code you've ever heard of or seen had the possibility of being broken, because it had been printed in a book in the method, or there was a variation of it, or it was a book code, some method that was known. And what they're using here is a combination of very simple strategies, but merged in such a way where, when they're all together, unless you're initiated in a specific way to know where to look, these would never be found. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think. Right, how do I stop this?